Don't give up. Just keep going. When it comes to, life in general and goals that we have that are big and ambitious and hard to achieve and take time, uh, the path from like when we set the goal to when we meet the goal is never a direct straight line. It's never easy. And I don't think anything worth having ever comes easily, but we get discouraged sometimes. A lot of the time, like discouragement is a normal human experience because things go well and things don't go well, and it's normal. But I think the biggest mindset shift for me, my biggest breakthrough in my own weight loss and health journey that I've been doing for, decades really, but from like kind of that moment that of decision 65 pounds ago that I needed to get this weight off was 2 years ago. And, you know, completely revamped my relationship with food and the structure around how I was engaging with food and how I was nourishing my body and eating. And I won't lie, like it's been hard. Like there have been hard times. Sometimes it's easy, and I'm 2 years into it, and um, my habits feel completely automatic. Like I'm not thinking about food anymore, and I don't have cravings anymore, and food doesn't rule my life anymore, and it's amazing and freeing and wonderful and worth every moment of discouragement that came along the way. But I'm kind of on the other side of having put in some hard work in the beginning, and like I won't lie, there were hard things about this journey. But again, like anything worth having doesn't come without its challenges and without effort. But in those moments of discouragement, what I want to share is that I've been really discouraged. I've been in places where food, maybe I was doing well, and then the food obsession or just like feeling out of control around my food, like those moments would come back. And I would just be like in the food and out of control and in a dark, dark place. And like, why can't I get this figured out? Why do I keep circling back and making the same mistake over and over again? And I've spent a lot of time in reflection and meditation and prayer around this, around my food addiction. And why do I have this brain? And can I please just be healed of this brain and be rid of this affliction, this challenge in my life? I just want to be rid of it. I want it to be gone. I don't want to deal with this anymore. But it doesn't work that way, of like just it magically going away, or us having goals and then magically materializing in front of us because we wish it into existence, right? It doesn't work that way. Like we have to work for it and we have to put in some effort for it. And in my reflection and prayer and meditation, the biggest mindset shift that has come to me that I genuinely believe is some divine teaching for me is don't give up, just keep going. And in that moment of discouragement and darkness and feeling hopeless, to have that message come through that you're doing the right things. Katie, there's no like magical strategy that you haven't tried that you're missing. There's no like silver bullet that you haven't discovered yet. You're doing all the right things. Like you're nourishing your body with the right kinds of foods, and the approach to healing from your food addiction and the approach to creating lifelong habits, you're on the right path. You just need to keep going and not give up. And that for me was everything. It is everything. It's still my mantra. And, like I mentioned, like these days, my food is pretty automatic and pretty easy. I'm in a right-sized body, and I feel pretty confident that I'm just going to keep staying the course for the rest of my life and enjoy this right-sized body for the rest of my life. But that's not to say that the food thoughts don't return and challenges don't pop up again. And all I have to remember is that moment of inspiration, that breakthrough of like, you're doing the right things. Just don't give up. Just keep going. And that's something that I teach and coach my clients on, their mindset around not being perfectionist about this like diet. And we're not, it's not about a diet. It's not about getting something perfect from the get-go, right out of the gate, and deciding I'm going to revamp my way of eating and my entire lifestyle from one day to the next and never mess up for the rest of my life. Like, guys, that doesn't happen. It's not about getting it right and getting it perfect and never messing up again. It's about learning a new skill. It's like learning to play the piano. If you've never played the piano before and you wanted to pick up this new skill, you'd have to sit down and practice for hours every day before you get good at it, and it starts to feel like your fingers are moving automatically and you don't like have to think about it anymore, right? Or if you're learning a new sport, you don't know how to play basketball, you're like, I'm going to learn how to play basketball. You got to get that ball and get on the court and practice hours every day in order to get good at it, to the point where like your body's automaticity is just taking over and like the motor learning is there, and dribbling a ball, you could do that in your sleep, right? Like, you need to put in some practice and put in the hours in order to learn this new skill, right? So it's an entirely different mindset that we need to adopt when we are trying to revamp our lifestyle and the way that we eat and the way we engage with food. Is that we're learning a new skill around food and self-care and self-nourishment and habits and all of these things, okay? And so it's just too common of a tragedy for people to like get on a diet and stick with it 2 weeks and then they mess up and they're like, oh, WTH, it's all out the window, I give up, right? That's like, has that happened to you? Because it's happened to me and it's happened to so many people where here we have this black and white mentality. And yeah, the thing that makes the difference for between those who like try a diet and fall off the wagon and fail and give up and don't lose all of their excess weight, they don't meet their health goals, or they don't maintain them long term, like the difference between them and those who do meet their goals and maintain them long term are that they don't give up. They trip and fall, they learn from the experience, they say, oh, it's like hitting a wrong key on the piano. That's all. I'm just going to get back and practice again right away and not give up and just keep going, doing all the right things. And eventually this skill you'll become a master at, at healthy eating and engaging in a healthy way with your food, to the point where it won't be a conscious process anymore. It won't require willpower anymore. It'll just be automatic and it'll feel easy and it will be beautiful and amazing and sustain you for the rest of your life. But for now, biggest breakthrough mindset shift I can share with you is don't give up. Just keep going.